Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're tuning in. My name is Jonathan Torres Herrera, and you are watching the JTH Show. Today, let's talk LinkedIn. But first, roll that intro. All right, so this is a video that I've been promising a lot of you. So everybody that has DM'd me, Mom, here it is. Okay, so I am a big supporter of LinkedIn. Unlike other social media platforms like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, for those of you guys that are not familiar, of course, right? LinkedIn is for career and business professionals. It's also a tool that you can find a lot of business opportunities, whether you're in sales or even if you have your own business and, you're trying to get the word out about your business. Overall, it's a great tool. But I think for as long as it has been available to the world, and it has been available for quite a while. In fact, according to Wikipedia, it's been available since before or months before, to be fair, months before MySpace. So it's not a new platform. Many of you guys maybe have heard about it, have seen it. It's the one with the little L, it's blue. But at the same time, it is concerning to me that there are so many individuals that have like no effing idea or even no interest in LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, it's not just for those that are looking for a job or those that want to do business or do sales, like I just mentioned. LinkedIn is a phenomenon. It's funny, I just got a notification from LinkedIn. Because Siri's listening. That it's going to boost your resume. It's going to boost the skills that you say you have in ways that you have no idea. Now, it's going to do that if you know how to set up LinkedIn, if you know what to do with it. Like anybody else, I wasn't born with knowing everything. And, the first few years when I opened up LinkedIn, it was kind of just like the static background they give you and, or default whatever background they give you. And, I put like a couple of jobs. I put jobs from way back when I was in high school, and I was like, oh, I guess that's what it is. And then I started digging into it deeper. And then and to be fair, it was out of a need, right? A company a long time ago that sold where I used to work, kind of like said, hey, you guys are going to be out of a job in October, FYI. And it was the first time that after being comfortable for so many years, like 7-8 years, I'm like, shit, all right. Back in the job market. So how is this going to work? Now, funny enough, I had been interviewing in that company. That was one of my duties there, is to do interviews and hire. And I remember seeing some individuals walk in with like a LinkedIn URL. In fact, I almost remember somebody having that QR code, which I found it very interesting. I mean, we're talking, by the way, back in 2013, maybe even before, a long time ago, right? And I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting, right? At the time, of course, we had the Facebooks and stuff like that, and I was like, okay. I mean, I never really went to the links. I just saw the resume. Now, one thing that by today's standards, I completely disagree, and I actually still hire, not directly, even with my own company. There is someone else that handles it, and with the company that I work for right now, I participate, but I'm not as hands-on as I used to be. But now I have a different perspective of the resume. It's a traditional resume. Now, I will say this. It's not that it's not important. It's not that you should go, I don't know, and if you have copies in your house and just grab them, burn them, throw them away. No. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the traditional resume nowadays, if you really want to take advice, by the way, from someone that has been directly involved in hiring, and actively, aggressively on LinkedIn, and has gotten really good business from LinkedIn, listen now. The resume should be more of a business card, right? Now, Some people still have the very traditional, front letter cover or cover letter or whatever, a little statement about themselves, the resume, some references, some letters of recommendation. That's all beautiful. It's all great. I'm not saying all that is worthless, but it does not, and it will not do what LinkedIn can do for you. So what can LinkedIn do for you? Well, to start with, if done and set up properly, LinkedIn will actively connect you because it's an algorithm. It's an app with an algorithm like any other freaking app. But in this case, based on your experience, based on some keywords, that you put in there, that, of things that you know how to do, or even recommendations, you have what's called it's not a sponsor, is a kind of like a reference. Someone that says, hey, I vouch that, their skills, they're legit. God, the word's escaping me. But anyways, you can have that. You can ask for that, by the way, from coworkers, right? As you start growing your LinkedIn. You can even print out a version of your LinkedIn that looks pretty damn good, and it looks just like a resume if you wanted to. Now, going back to the algorithm, it'll start connecting you with other people within your field. So let's just say you are in the marketing field, or you are in maybe in the construction field. Whatever field you're in, it's going to categorize you, right, by that industry. And you're going to start suggesting like, hey, by the way, here are some people that you should know. You have that on Facebook all the time. You have that on other applications where like, oh, this person's on here as well, this contact of yours. Now, the beauty of it is that it'll recommend people that is going to be, at your reach, that could give you that boost or get you into that company that you've been wanting to get in without needing your tío's help to get into the company, right? Or a friend's help. That to me is so valuable, because you can directly send a message to that individual. You can say, hey, I just saw your LinkedIn. There's a reason they're there. There's a reason you're there. So it's not going to be like, you reach out to me, you stalker. It's not like Facebook, man. Or you in Facebook, it's kind of weird. Or even Instagram, you just reach out to random ass people and DM them. Here on LinkedIn, it's business, right? They understand, the vast majority, if not all people on there understand that they're going to get hit up with opportunities, with pitches. I don't know how many. Is it fun? No, they get old after a while, but I was there once. So when I get people saying, hey, I got it. Someone asked me and my buddy of mine saying, hey, I know you're the director and your buddy is the vice president. Can I take you guys out to coffee? I would really like an opportunity in your company. It's business. How else would you do that? Other than if she knew some other people in the company, or she maybe just walked in there and said, can I take you to coffee? Which would be kind of weird, right? Or she maybe had to email, send letters. LinkedIn, smooth. It was just, a message, a direct message, not invasive. Open it up, and I'm like, yeah, sure. We would love to have a conversation with you. No problem. She was interested in the job. She didn't, unfortunately, have the qualifications for it because it wasn't an entry level position, but still, it gave her that edge, right? To at least say, hey, I was able to talk to someone, and even after, she's like, hey, do you know anywhere else that I can, possibly apply, since, we're all in the same industry? I happily gave her a reference, right? So if you're not LinkedIn, you should be. You should look into it. You should have it on your phone, just as part of your other social media apps. I have a folder on my iPhone that says social media, and it's right there on the front, right? Along with all the other fun ones. Why? Let's go into the business opportunities. Before I started working where I work now, I started getting a lot of hits from the company where I work now. It started just connecting me because I was in the telemarketing. A lot of my skills, the word almost came to me. I was going to say embrace. They're not embrace. They started showing up as part of like my recommendations. So some people that are no longer there, I just reached out to. And not long after that, I started getting, I attached my LinkedIn with other hiring sources, and it just pinged me and said, hey, maybe you should talk to the owner. Talk to him. Long story short, here I am now. And that came through the influence of LinkedIn, which is phenomenal, right? A lot of people that have asked me in the past, like, hey, I've been working here for about 2 years, or I've been working here for about a year. I want to move on. What should I do? Where do I start? Oh my God, my resume has been updated in some time. How do I update it? Stop worrying about your resume. If you want to make an impression in a company that, in my opinion, is going to probably be a really good representation of what's happening actively in the world, that it's going to be more of a 21st century company versus a company that's maybe behind the curve and does everything on paper still, you're going to want to impress them with a really polished and nice LinkedIn that has a description. Now, here's like one of my final things. A lot of times you'll notice that you'll have people try to fudge their resume by either putting hidden words and then submitting them through these, because I see like all these legit hacks of like, ooh, put all these keywords that you want the job and then put them in white and put them in really small font and then submit. I mean, you're lying to yourself. I've seen those hacks and I'm like, why would anybody do that? Just because you allegedly want to go to the top of the list. So what's going to happen once you're at the top of the list? A lot of these job opportunities out there nowadays require for you to have really strong or be really technologically inclined, right? To know how to even set up a printer if you need to know how to work in small offices, and how to maybe even behave as a corporate, even if you're in a small office. I mean, there's a ton of variations out there that require for you to be really good and think on your feet with tech. So if you put all these keywords in hidden white font or white color font or whatever, and you submit it, you jump to the top of the list, and then you don't even know how to work, between a Mac and a PC, regardless of what your opinion is about Mac, by the way. You can have your opinion whatever you want, but there's tons of companies that will have both and will have you work on either simultaneously or here's a Mac. That's what you got to work in. What good does it does to put maybe a keyword hidden that you didn't even notice, like expert PC user and Mac user? And it's like, okay, go to the control center. And you're like, where's the right click? When there's no right click technically in Mac, unless you enable it. That's just an example, right? So anyways, on LinkedIn, on the other hand, you can literally have actual people you work with, if they are also, of course, LinkedIn. Go ahead and basically, again, vouch for what you say you know how to do. That is, in my opinion, a hell of a lot better than a reference letter that you probably had someone type up and they did it out of obligation. And, it's like, maybe they did it, maybe they did it, maybe it was your mom, maybe it was you, playing the part. I have seen so many things out there. Furthermore, a lot of hiring managers are like, please keep your resume to one sheet. That's the standard. Yeah, the fucking 1995. Like, can you summarize everything you say you know how to do, everything you say you are on a one sheet of paper? Now you say, well, can I do it on one LinkedIn page? It doesn't give you a fucking limit, dude. Like, you just keep it to 2 jobs and then move on. No, I mean, you had like 10 jobs for some reason. Go crazy. Go on. Add all your skills. Add all your bullet points because it'll open it up, right? And someone hiring, I do it when I have to, participate in hiring. I'll go to the LinkedIn, look it up, and I'm like, okay, wow, look at their skills. If you have any kind of certifications, you can put them right on there. You can have links to those. You can check my LinkedIn out, right? It's my full name. People will see that I own these companies, that I work as a director in this other company, that I've done consulting jobs. I mean, they'll see a whole resume of me. What are my aspirations? What I want to do? Instead of just putting some very genetic, like objective, I think it is, right? I haven't had it in a while. And it's like, what is my objective? You have to change it for this company, change it for this other company. And then you're just lying out of your effing teeth. In my opinion, if you put as much love, and for those of you guys I have, by the way, congratulations, you know what I'm talking about. If you put as much love, real love, into your LinkedIn, as much as you put into any of the other social media platforms, trust me, you will notice the big difference in the long run when you want to go out and start scouting for a job. Which, by the way, if I didn't mention already, LinkedIn has a feature that you can turn on and off when you are open to hearing about a job. You don't necessarily need to be looking for a job, but who knows if the right opportunity actually comes knocking to you. Does it sound a little out there? Sure. I've had people reach out to me. They haven't been the right opportunities in comparison to what I have now, but I had one. I had one probably about, a few months ago, right? Someone that forwarded something over if I wanted to do some managerial job for, I think it was like State Farm or something, right? It was out of what I wanted to do. I didn't even get into salary talks or anything like that. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. So I don't, I wasn't open to that. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Why did I get reached out to? I went in there. I'm like, I had that damn thing turned on, right? Turn it off. Boom, done. Now, it's great. And that's where I got this inspiration from doing this video. It's like, oh, wow. I wonder how many people don't even know that that's in there. Right? So anyways, this was a short one. I mean, 15 minutes, but this short one, it just kind of like maybe a wake-up call to those of you guys that either are on LinkedIn, have heard about LinkedIn, don't even know what LinkedIn is. A little bit of a wake-up call. You should be on there. You can DM me. You're welcome. I welcome them like I always do, and I can give you some pointers. I'm willing to even look at your LinkedIn. I'll tell you how it looks. Look at mine, right? I'll put the link somewhere there. Oh, there. I'll put somewhere. I can never tell because my face is like this the other way around. But somewhere. I'll put it there. Just scroll it here. Bob, scroll it here now. And you just look at the video, okay? And or the LinkedIn page. I'd say I've gotten compliments on mine, so mine's a pretty good starter at least, if anything. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure you like and subscribe. Until next time. See ya.